everyone, and welcome to the Stamps by Me studio. My name is Claire Manning, and this is the Sunday Chill at 1 p.m. Where I show you some Thirsty Brush demos. If you like these demos and want to see more, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, and you will get notified of all of the demonstrations from myself, Tony Derrick from Stamps by Me, obviously it's her channel, and also Carly and Simon who do Imala and Avogo Ink. So we're going to make a Christmas card today. We did one as well on Thursday. If you missed it, it'll be on the videos section of the channel. Sorry, that's my dog playing with it. Why do they play with noisy toys as soon as you want to do something? So if you hear random duck sounds, it's not me. It's the dog. So I'm going to make a card with one of my favourites from last year's Christmas release. Loads of you have got this, so hopefully you'll be able to give this a go. It's the poinsettia, and it's all separate bits of leaves and different sized poinsettias and berries, so you can build your own design. So what I'm hoping to do is have quite a plain background, maybe a little splash of watercolour, but then the poinsettias and the leaves. Oh my god, it's gone wild. Oh, why? Yeah, and then all the leaves kind of coming out from behind the poinsettias on this 5x7 card. So I will do something with the background in a little while. I don't know what yet, but let's get on and stamp and die cut all of these lovely poinsettia and leaf bits. He's just moved the curtains, so I'm going to have to pull them across because of the light. Really nice and sunny here for a change this morning, so take advantage of it, but it's not very good for filming because you get a lot of glare. I wonder if he does it because I'm talking but I'm not talking to him. Do you think? There's my magnet. So I've just got a piece of plain white card that I'm going to stamp some of these and emboss them in our lovely classic Gold Digger. Did I knock that a little bit? Apologies. So I've got my luminosity ink to make it all nice and sticky for the powder. So I've just picked a selection. We can do more if we need. I definitely want some more leaves, I think. And I've got a piece of paper that's going to catch on the powder somewhere. Leave the stamps on because we can do another lot if we want to. And yeah, the classic Gold Digger. Tons of you have got this already, so I just think it makes the most wonderful outlines on your stamps. And then it doesn't matter what colouring you do, whether you're any good or not, or whether you use paints or pens or anything, it makes everybody look great. Okay. So that's the first lot done. Heat set that first. Oh, excuse me. Oh God, it's all going crazy today, isn't it? Sneezing, Dogs running around. Have a look. I always hold it up to the light and check that we've got all that lovely shine, and then that makes sure that I've got, oh yeah, missed a tiny little corner there. It's so difficult on bright days to, yeah, we've got all that lovely shine. Right, so while we put that one through the die cutter, we can stamp some more then, can't we? Make the most of our time. So I think I've done everything that you've got a die for. Obviously these are quite big dies, so unfortunately everything on the stamp you haven't got a die for, but most of it, you've got at least one size of everything. So I think I might have to just cut a couple of one of the leaf sizes that I need. Just going to get some low tack tape. I'm using everything as well today. So by the time you watch this, obviously I record these in the week while I'm not travelling direct to the Stamps by Me studio with the pandemic and everything. Hopefully I'll be able to do that once the tiers go down a bit more. And it's a bit safe for me to travel because I go on the train and stuff. So by the time you watch this, it will be less than 2 weeks till Christmas. So tell me, are you nearly ready? Have you done all your Christmas cards? Is this an idea for you to do a last minute one? I mean, we've done some quick Christmas card ideas. If you've watched the watercolour ones, I wouldn't say this is necessarily a quick one, but it's a lovely one if you've got a special one left to do. But if you've got 50, you might not want to do this one. You'll be there for a long time, unless you've got nothing else to do between now and then. So let's get another piece of card and decide which bits out of that I want to use again. I definitely want to use the leaves. I don't think I need another flower. I'll tell you what, maybe let's have a small flower. See where I've got gaps now. And definitely the large leaf. We've got another small leaf. Will that all fit in? Yeah. So hopefully that's enough of the elements to get it. I want it to look really full behind that main big poinsettia flower and all come kind of tumbling out behind it in layers. And I'm going to colour them with a bit of watercolour just to keep with the theme that I've been doing. But it really doesn't matter. In fact, what I really wanted to do today for a change, because I've done tons of watercolour, is do them with my polychromos, because I think this card would look absolutely stunning with pencils and blending pencils. But it just takes so long to colour with those, to get it right. That it just wouldn't work for one of these videos that are normally, half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. But what I may do is do like another video for you with that, with the pencils if you're interested, and then maybe speed it up. Because I remember that flower I did with the polychromos, the big lily, on the video you all loved, but actually it would have been about an hour and a half, 2 hours long if I'd have done it real time. And that's just, it's a long time to expect people to watch and stay engaged and interested, isn't it? But I will gladly do it and do, you know, speed it up to make it a reasonable length, maybe 20 minutes or something like that. But I'm really enjoying doing the watercolour videos for you. It's really good fun for me, and what I've really found interesting is that I've been looking over the watercolour videos that I started to do at the beginning of lockdown, which is what, March, April time. I started to do a few, and what I really found encouraging, oh god, I've got fingerprints all over this. I haven't used my anti-static, never mind. What I really found interesting is how much I feel I've progressed in my watercolour painting, how I use the brush. So that's not about me or look how great I am. That's some encouragement for you guys. Like, I know a lot of you go, oh god, I could never do that. I've tried once or twice and it just doesn't look how yours looks. Well, mine didn't to start off with either, trust me. We don't, I always say, like my husband says, we do not come out of the womb knowing this stuff. It is literally just patience and perseverance. And I know that's maybe not the ideal answer, because everybody wants to, you know, do everything well straight away. But it really is the truth. The only way to become better at something is a skill, is to practice it and do it regularly, little and often. Yeah, I think I've got it all. So just to point out, on some of these designs, there are breaks in the lines. Now, that doesn't mean that you've missed it when you've been stamping. It's just the way I've drawn it when I've designed it in a kind of like sketchy way. So it's not you. So don't keep going in too many times and thinking, why can't I get that little bit? It's that's the design. So let's see which ones we can manage to cut out of this second set, and I'll just run around with my scissors. Anything else? So I know we haven't got a big poinsettia. We've got this lovely leaf sprig here that we can use. And I see you're all enjoying Tony's Craft Academy as well. And that's a really fun thing to do, isn't it? And everybody gets involved and watches daily. The little berries. You could have those berries white or red or whatever colour you like, really. I've done cards with this set before with blue poinsettias and all sorts. So those last two I haven't got a die for. There just wasn't room in the packet for us to put those two in. But not to worry, I kept them, the ones that we couldn't fit in, easy shapes for you to, probably the easiest two for you to run your scissors round. hope this is enough now. Take those dies out of the way. I'll just run my scissors around those really quick. So what are you guys up to today? Sunday dinner? Winter walk maybe? Or just staying in and being cosy? As usual, my usual Sunday routine is after I've had a chat with you on this, I tend to have my dinner. It's normally cooking or about to go in. We'll have dinner about 4 o'clock-ish. And then, well, in between that, I do all my housework on a Sunday because we're all busy all week with school and work and all that kind of thing. So we just do what's necessary to get us through. And then Sunday I have a big, you know, do your bathroom and your beds and things like that. God, that sounds boring, doesn't it? How my life has changed, where I used to spend all of Sunday in a pub with my friends or something when I was younger. So this little poinsettia is the same shape as the other one, it's just a smaller one, but it's really good for giving depth because if you pop it behind, kind of peeking through, it's a bit like, you know, I love the poinsettia plant, but if you look at it kind of from the top down, you'll always see normally some big nice bloom at the top and then all these other ones that are just starting to come out in the perspective of those smaller behind. So it just adds that extra. You could put a couple of these if you wanted to. Okay, let's get colouring. So I need my paints. So I'm going to go with the traditional colours for this one today, but like I say, you do whatever colours you want. So I'm going to get some reds. Oh no, the dog's gone crazy for a blanket. And I'm going to do I do this trick for getting shade. I put colour at the base of a petal and I do this whether I've got pens, pencils, whatever. This is my really easy technique for getting shade. And then I put water on my brush, I rinse off most of the colour and then I just drag out from the top. Don't go over with the bottom bit with your brush because you want it to get lighter as you go up the petal. Same again, keep going back and washing a lot of the colour off your brush. There's the duck sounds again. It's now growling at the duck, obviously. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that will dry lovely. So you can pretty much, once you've got used to the technique, you can pretty much go around the bottom, but you want to make sure that you drag it out before it dries. And you can have some petals paler than others. Can you hear him growling at his toy? This isn't watercolour card, this is just normal cardstock. So you will get a slightly different look if you use watercolour card. Probably the blends will be slightly smoother because it's designed to take the water better, but I know lots of you, sometimes you haven't got it in or you haven't got it at all, you don't use it, so I wanted to show you that this can be done on normal cardstock as well. And there's one. We just need to add some kind of yellow or something to the middle. There we go. So same again with the smaller one. I'm not going to concentrate so much on individual petals, sorry, for the smaller one. Just kind of go round. A bit too much water on my brush there. Lovely. And let's get some nice greens. I'll leave the berries for now on these lovely leaves. So I want a kind of variation of some really kind of natural looking greens. So my favourite is this kind of yellowy orangey green, yellowy green, sorry. I just think is more natural than some of the kind of bluey greens that you get in paint. But you can mix your own, of course, as well, using blues and yellows and see what you like. So same technique, colour at the bottom of the leaf and take your water up. If you wanted to make it a little bit darker at the bottom, and just while it's still wet, add a little bit of a darker green. In at the bottom if you like. Oh, sorry, I really have, it's all going wrong today. I normally put my phone on silent, I'm so sorry. That's the news app. Sounds so dramatic, doesn't it? So this one's a much darker green. So let's do this on some of these other leaves. Now I've got messages. So sorry. So unprofessional. At least I've never done that on TV though. I've never left my phone on. So you can see I'm just mixing up a few different types of green just for variation, because you know in life any plant, what's he doing there? That's just trying to eat all of his blankets and toys. So that's the leaves done, and then for the berries, I'm just thinking, do I want them to be red? Because I'd rather them be white, to be honest. So to give it, rather than just leaving them completely plain, if I use a little bit of grey and just give them a little bit of shade on, say, the bottom corner of each one. Hopefully that will just give the illusion that they are white, but they've got a bit of depth and shade to them. Horse, please stop eating the Christmas tree now. He never does this. Honestly, he's such a good boy. Well, most of the time. He has his moments. There we go. So we've got all our elements there. So, oh, actually, I'll keep them out. I fancy doing a bit of kind of almost like a blue sky behind. So I've got a piece of card I've cut down, which is smaller than the card. Sorry, let me move the curtain again. Good grief. This is going well, isn't it? Is that better without that glare? So on the card itself, I want the kind of flowers and leaves coming from this side. So I'm going to put a little bit of a light blue. Might need it slightly darker than that. Just mixing a couple of blues together to get the right tone. And again, this isn't watercolour card, so you're not going to get the smoothest blend, but you'll see all I really need is just a little bit of colour coming from behind those flowers and leaves. Most of it will be covered, but I just want it to poke out a little bit. And some splatters. Maybe in a couple of different blues. Some of them are going into the wet, so they're going to be bigger and darker. And there's plenty of splats. You can never have enough too much splats. So let's just dry that off. If it starts to curl too much, just turn it over. It'll come back the other way. Okay, and the next thing we need to do before putting the flowers and the leaves on is do a sentiment. I've just got my Eureka back, or you could use a little, I always forget the name of them, what they're called, a little block for this. I'm just using the Believe one from one of the other Christmas sets because I've got it to hand, but you put on whatever you want. I think the font of this one goes really nice with a kind of sketchy watercolory look. It's like traditional but modern at the same time. So let's put the rest of this together now. my card blank and my glue. I haven't used any of the mats and layers. I just think the watercolour itself on this one for a change is enough, really. And then so I want the flower to be one of the main, and then I tend to, before I stick anything down with ones like this where I'm building a design, really just play around and decide where I want them to go. Some bits are obviously going to get trimmed off, but roughly where do I want the leaves to go? What colour do I want next to each other? Okay, I think that will do it. So what I'm going to do is, so those are to the top, these are to the side, these are to the bottom, just to remind me. And this one is going to be built up just a tiny bit with some foam. I'm not going to put the foam all over because I need to have space to be able to tuck the other ones behind. I've tried it the other way too, where gluing these down first, but sometimes it just doesn't quite sit right then. And you end up having to move your flower, say, to be able to cover up gaps. So just start tucking things behind where you want them with your wet glue then. So those will sit flat. If you need to, you can always trim off the ends of things to get them to sit further in. You should have plenty of space then. And I don't tend to put the glue right to the end because actually I quite like the dimension of them curling up a little bit, but that's totally up to you. You can put the glue right here and have them sit flat if you want. Trim the berries a little bit shorter so they're not sticking out oddly. There, I think. So yeah, you can kind of curl them, you can let them lie flat however you want. All I need to do now is just turn it over and trim off those excess bits. Just to neaten off the edge. And there we go. We've got the little shimmer of the gold embossing powder. All that lovely watercolour, and like I say, a lot of that blue is actually covered up, but it just gives that, it kind of grinds it a little bit rather than everything floating. But you've got a lovely dimension of the flower on the top Like I say, feel free to curl things up if you want to. If you're going to give this by hand and maybe do it in a box or something rather than a post one, you can go to town and make it really, really dimensional. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back as normal on Thursday for Thirsty Thursday at 1 o'clock here on the Stamps by Me channel. And in between, do check out my watercolour videos on my channel, Claire Manning Craft. And if you're not already part of the Facebook group Brushettes, if you search Thirsty Brushettes, do share your makes. We all love to see, myself and the design team and other crafters, love to see what you've made with your lovely Thirsty Brush designs. And take care, have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon.